WKRG News 5.
Lots of thunderstorms overnight last night. We'll talk about those and look ahead to a few strong storms today as well. Stay tuned. News 5 at 9 a.m. is coming up right now.
And the thunder, lightning, and wind left a lot of debris in the road and some trees down across our area. Plus, the first act for the Hangout Music Festival starts in just a couple of hours. We'll have a live report on the last-minute preparations.
From WKRG News 5, the Gulf Coast news leader, the news starts now.
Hello and thanks for joining us today for News 5 at 9. I'm Devin Walsh. First on 5 at this hour. It was a noisy and rough night weather-wise for most people in our area. News 5's Alan Seals stepped outside overnight during the storm to shoot this video on his iPhone, and you can see the rain is almost sideways from the wind. The National Weather Service had reports of wind gusts up to 54 miles per hour at a wind sensor right there at the Wallace Tunnel. Over in Fort Morgan, a National Ocean Service observation spot clocked a gust at 69 miles per hour. And when you get storms with high winds, you are going to see trees down. And that's what happened across our area overnight. Trucks along Moffett Road west of Highway 98 had to slow down because a tree covered part of one lane. Crews have been out all night clearing the trees to prevent things like this. A man driving down Moffett came up on a tree in the road. He tried to slam on the brakes to stop, and he got rear-ended. The driver told us one person was taken to the hospital, but these trees on major roads have since been cleaned up. It is time now to check in with meteorologist John Nodar for a look at whether there is more rain on the way. Good morning, John.
Well, good morning, and in fact, there is more rain on the way. You see the gray skies south of the Mobile River. Yeah, some of those are thunderstorms out over the Gulf waters, and some of those storms will find their way inland later today. Last night's rollicking weather is moving off into the Big Bend area of Florida, where it is getting weaker. But boy, when it came through our neighborhood, most of us saw winds on the order of 40 to 50 miles an hour at some point. There were lots of trees, as Devin mentioned, trees down and branches down and twigs down in the roadways this morning. Now the heavier weather is offshore, but some of this is brushing the coastline with lightning and thunder and gusty winds anywhere from around Pascagoula right on through the Mobile Bay area and over to Destin. Few showers inland as well. As far as what's in store, well, more of these spreading across the area during the day today. Get News 5's free weather app. It will help you keep up with where those storms are and will alert you to severe weather in your neighborhood if needed.
All right, thank you, John. The first full day of music for the Hangout Music Festival begins this morning, rain or shine. Gulf Shores is expected to be rocking, and organizers are hopeful the only rocking comes from the stage and not the sky. News 5's Chad Petrie is live in Gulf Shores with more. Good morning, Chad.
Good morning, Devin. I really wish we had more to show you. We've kind of taken shelter under the porch of the Hooters here to avoid the showers that have kind of picked up in the last hour. The rain's calmed down, but hopefully that'll remain calm as they get ready to open those doors. About a couple of hours ago, we were watching some of the setup taking place and also seeing a little bit of storm damage from the strong storms that had rolled through just the night before. A little bit of damage, maybe a fence down here or there. Nothing too major, nothing that they couldn't get fixed up by the time they open up those gates at 11 o'clock this morning. So again, this is a sold-out festival, so they're expecting thousands upon thousands of people, 40,000 people at most, to come to this festival this weekend. So it's a chance to expose out-of-towners to different sorts of stuff from the south, including Gulf Coast Seafood, who has a booth set up at the Hangout Festival again this year.
Mostly once they taste it and they can see the difference between good local seafood versus imported seafood or something that's processed, you know, it really makes ambassadors and believers out of people.
And hopefully there'll be a lot of believers coming down to the Gulf this weekend as we get ready for the festival to open up its gates. Preparations still underway, trying to get things nice and pretty for the festival as it kicks off officially for a full day this morning at 11 o'clock. Of course, we'll keep an eye on the sky as well. Now, again, this is expected to go on rain or shine unless there is severe weather or lightning in the area, which means they could postpone a couple of acts because of it. But for right now, it looks like things are on for 11 o'clock this morning. Devin, back to you.
All right, Chad Petrie reporting from the Hangout. Thank you, Chad. Egyptian military officials say they've located debris from the missing EgyptAir Flight 804, including passengers' belongings, north of the coastal city of Alexandria. Yesterday, a Greek defense minister said the plane traveling from Paris to Cairo veered wildly in the air before crashing into the Mediterranean Sea. We will have more on this story a little bit later right here in this newscast. Police in Pell City, Alabama say a 6th grade girl collapsed and died after a game of tug-of-war at the school's field day activities. Coaches and the school nurse immediately began CPR on the 12-year-old, according to police. First responders took her to the hospital where she later died. The mother of another student talked to reporters yesterday after the incident. She had concerns about how the school handled keeping the kids hydrated during the event, and that her own daughter said the girl complained of a headache and dizziness before collapsing. Counselors will be at school today to help students. A judge has revoked the bond of a murder suspect because she failed to take court-ordered drug tests. Heather Rafferty is back in jail this morning. Rafferty had been free on bond since December, but authorities say the 22-year-old mother skipped mandated drug screenings. Rafferty and her former boyfriend are accused of robbing and shooting, as well as burning down the home of an elderly man back in 2014. The overtime bill was just passed yesterday, but some experts are saying it is a job killer. Many companies will not be able to afford the extra costs. They'll be forced to decide whether to fire employees, cut hours, or raise salaries to above the $47,000 threshold, also forcing them to fire other employees. Same goes for nonprofits, and they may have to cut certain services they now provide. The law takes effect December 1st of this year. Coming up, as we mentioned, debris has been found from the EgyptAir plane that went missing yesterday. We've got the latest on the search and the investigation after the break. And later, how hackers and scammers may use information you knowingly post online to steal your money. And be sure to download our News 5 app to stay up to date on news on the go. It's available for download for both the Apple App Store for iPhones and Google Play for Androids. We'll be right back.
You're watching WKRG News 5, voted Television Station of the Year by the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, demand Richard Mather.
When I take on the insurance company, the gloves come off. I'm Mike Slocum, Alabama Hammer. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, let me fight the insurance company for you. Call me right now.
Arm & Hammer brings a sensational spin on the new Spin Brush Truly Radiant Clean and Fresh. The patented dual-action head with floss tip bristles removes 100% more plaque in hardest-to-reach places. I feel truly radiant. New Spin Brush Truly Radiant.
Your Social Security disability claim was denied and you don't understand. Your physical or mental condition makes it impossible for you to work. I'm Gil Layden, a board-certified Social Security disability attorney. If you can't work, I'd like to help. It's not just about benefits, it's about dignity.
Call attorney Gil Layden, 1-800-843-0403.
At Gulf Coast Cancer Centers, we recognize the importance of accuracy and precision when treating prostate cancer. 1 in 7 men will develop prostate cancer during their lifetime. Gulf Coast Cancer Centers utilizes the Calypso GPS for the body system with the only real-time technology for prostate cancer radiation therapy. With our Calypso technology, we're able to provide better outcomes for our patients with prostate cancer.
Quality personalized cancer care close to home. Gulf Coast Cancer Centers.
A race, Barry, to see who's the fastest man alive.
Tuesday at 7 on the CW55.
Are your dentures made by your dentist? At Baldwin Denture Center, they are. Our on-site lab allows Dr. Hansen and his staff to be involved through every step of making your dentures, providing you quality same-day denture services at prices you can afford. For fast, affordable care, call Baldwin Denture Center.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, you can try this. Or you can call me. Ouch! I'm Mike Slocum, Alabama Hammer. If you've been injured in a car wreck, call me right now.
Officials say they have located debris from the missing EgyptAir Flight 804. The plane took off in Paris with 66 people on board and then disappeared over the Mediterranean Sea after entering Egyptian airspace. CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigalotti has the latest from Crete, where some of the planes involved in the search are being launched.
Authorities say Navy vessels made the discovery, which includes passengers' belongings north of the coastal city of Alexandria. The Greek Minister of Defense says a body part was also found along with a seat from the aircraft.
The first 24 hours was really focused on search and rescue or recovery, trying to really nailed down all the perishable evidence.
Yesterday, airline officials were forced to retract claims that debris, including life jackets found near the Greek island of Karpathos, belonged to the doomed flight. A Greek defense minister said the plane traveling from Paris to Cairo veered wildly in the air before crashing into the Mediterranean Sea. As crews focus their search south of Crete, what brought the plane down remains unclear. Egyptian aviation officials believe terrorism may be to blame. CBS News senior security contributor Mike Morrell says there is no evidence terrorism brought down the aircraft, but that nothing can be ruled out.
I think there's two possibilities, right? One is a bomb, either placed on the aircraft somewhere in North Africa where the plane had been earlier in the day, or it could have been an individual on the plane, even the pilot or co-pilot, who became radicalized.
Clues as to what caused the crash could come from the plane's flight data and cockpit voice recorders, which may well be at the bottom of the sea. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Crete.
Well, officials from France, Greece, and the U.S. have joined Egyptian officials in trying to locate the plane. On the campaign trail, the war of words between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton is heating up. Trump fired back at Clinton after she said that he's not qualified to be president, saying her bad judgment makes her unqualified. Clinton also declared herself the likely Democratic presidential nominee, but rival Bernie Sanders has vowed to press ahead. Parts of Texas still recovering from last month's heavy flooding are under a flood watch through the weekend. Check out this video from Galveston. Some of the city's roads were already underwater yesterday from the same storm system that moved through our area overnight.
Coming up, more showers and thunderstorms. Yep, we're not quite finished yet, but I think we will be in time for a nice weekend. We'll talk about that next.
Get the most accurate forecast with the WKRG News 5's First Alert Storm Team. Weather coverage you can count on.
If I get in a car wreck, I'm calling Morris Bart. 433-2210.
Injured in a car wreck, you know what to do. Just call 433-2210 or Google Morris Bart. One call, that's all.
After a car wreck, demand Richard Mather. If you've been injured in a car accident, you need your lawyer to be two things: someone you can talk to about your accident, and someone who will fight the insurance company to get the money you deserve. Nice to you and tough on them. So give me a call today and we'll get started today. If you've been injured in a car wreck, demand Richard Mather. The consultation is free, so call 432-2580.
It's the Memorial Day mattress sale at Sleep Center Superstore. Save $400 on a Sealy Posturepedic Anniversary Queen Set. Only $599. At the Sleep Center, your comfort is guaranteed because we aren't satisfied till you are. Shop the largest Stearns & Foster selection in the area with Queen Sets starting at just $22 per month. Plus, now through Memorial Day, get up to 72 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattress sets. Or with qualifying purchases, receive a free HD TV or Yeti cooler. Only at Sleep Center. Best service, best selection, best prices.
Henry. Oh, my.
According to Kelley Blue Book, Subaru has the highest resale value of any brand. Again, you might find that comforting. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Lease a 2016 Subaru Legacy for $179 a month at Kobe Subaru.
You get hurt in an accident, you get yourself a lawyer. You call Morris Bart.
My attorney is Morris Bart.
Injured in a car wreck, you know what to do. Just call 433-2210 or Google Morris Bart. One call, that's all.
Now, John Nodar with First Alert Weather.
Welcome back. Just about 9:15 on this Friday morning. A lot of people are taking the day off maybe and heading down to the
It's dicey.
yeah.
It's dicey, but a lot of it will be able to come off okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow, no problem.
Right.
Yeah. Boy, did you get awakened by last
I sure
night's
did. That was a
thunderstorms?
lot of rain.
It was a lot of rain, a lot of wind, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder. Let's take a look, show you what's going on. First off, with the Hangout Fest, we've got the beach party forecast that includes low 80s today and scattered thunderstorms, and some of those thunderstorms could be strong or maybe even severe. Dauphin Island getting rain right now as we look from the Alpha Sky Cam at the Sea Lab, and most of the rain at this point is along the coastline. We'll see rain and thunder for the afternoon and then sunny skies for this weekend. It will become sunny on Saturday and then be sunny all day Sunday. Here's the way it looks right now. The radar in close on the Mobile Bay area. And we got rain all along the coastline, all the way through Navarre, Destin, back here to about Pascagoula. Coden getting some fairly heavy rain right now, maybe even a little bit of lightning and thunder. But it's not like last night. It's not like a solid line of strong thunderstorms. This will be scattered strong thunderstorms in between some fairly typical thunderstorms for the Gulf Coast. Radar on a little wider picture shows folks in northern parts of Monroe County and Clark County and Washington County, places that had really heavy rain and lots of lightning earlier this morning, now with a little bit of a break. And a lot of folks will get a break for the, let's call it the middle of the day hours. Here's the forecast of what we expect to happen with clouds and rain. This is today at 5 p.m. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, diminishing a bit, but still there will be enough of them out there. And I'm going to tell you right now, if we get sunshine in the middle of the day, you would think that's a good thing, but it would add a lot of energy back to the atmosphere that was kind of washed out by last night's thunderstorms. So if you get sunshine in the middle of the day, you may see more and stronger thunderstorms at 5 p.m. So that's the kind of the X factor there. By 10 o'clock, most of this has gone away, and by tomorrow morning, we should see clearing skies and the rain beginning to move offshore. So Saturday looks good. It may start off with some clouds, but don't fret. If you wake up and it's cloudy, don't say, oh no, it's ruined. Just know that we will see some clearing later in the day. Some sun is possible during the midday hours, depending on where you are. The farther north you are, the more likely it is you'll see a little bit of sunshine, with some rain near the coastline, and that starts spreading inland during the early afternoon hours, goes up to about a 40% chance at 3 p.m. and then ramps up a bit more to 60, 70% in the late afternoon hours. So just know that scattered thunderstorms remain a possibility. Boy, there's a fabulous picture by Nathan Glatfelter in D'Iberville. Look at that cloud-to-ground lightning. Yikes. Here's the next couple of days with rain and thunderstorms off and on today, sunshine starting tomorrow, and really sunny on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Thank you, John. And John and I were just talking about the Hangout Festival, and we have just learned from the Hangouts app that the start of the festival in Gulf Shores has been delayed. It was supposed to start at 11 o'clock this morning. We know the start time has been delayed because of the weather. We are trying to see what time they plan on starting it, so stay tuned right here to News 5. But again, if you're headed down to the Hangout, the music festival, the start of it has been delayed this morning. From the News 5 medical team, a new study finds high school and college students who get a concussion often have significant problems when they return to the classroom. Researchers in Rochester, New York found students who hurt their heads had significantly more academic problems a week after their injury. A month after the injury, athletes who had 2 or more concussions continued to have problems. The number of Americans who are blind or visually impaired is expected to double in the next 35 years. That's according to a study from the University of Southern California. Researchers say about 1 million Americans are currently blind and 11 million are visually impaired. But that number will go up as the baby boomer generation continues to age. And new research out of Boston suggests between 20 and 40% of cancer cases could be prevented, and about half of cancer deaths could be avoided if people adopted a healthy lifestyle. That includes no smoking or heavy drinking, moderately exercising at least 150 minutes per week, and maintaining a healthy weight. We often think of identity theft as a computer crime scammers hacking into our accounts online, but A little-known vulnerability is being used to empty consumers' bank accounts using nothing more than a telephone. CBS News correspondent Brooke Silva-Braga reports.
When Christy Reisick couldn't get cash out of the ATM, she called her bank to ask why.
And so they said, well, you have to answer these 3 security questions. So I failed all 3 security questions.
The questions had been changed and her account taken over using a kind of phone hacking. A con artist posing as Reisick was able to answer a Chase operator's questions about the school she went to, her license plate number, even the bank she had a loan from. And that gave the scammers the ability to steal $2,800 by writing checks from her account.
They made fake checks.
That's correct.
With your account numbers.
Right.
Reisick doesn't know how the con artist got her personal info, but security expert Adam Levin says criminals can buy it from hackers who've breached the databases of major retailers, financial institutions, even local businesses and schools.
It's really a question of when, not if anymore, that each of us is going to suffer a form or multiple forms of identity theft.
Levin says to protect yourself, always use long and strong passwords online and pick security questions you haven't shared on social media. The school you went to or your mom's maiden name could be right on Facebook. In a statement, Chase noted customers are not liable for fraudulent transactions that they report to us in a timely fashion. It took a couple weeks, but Reisick did get her money back.
This has been a full-time job.
She's also disabled telephone banking, though Chase concedes another crook with the right information could turn it back on. In Floral Park, New York, Brooke Silva-Braga for CBS News.
Up next, around the web and around the world, and a weatherman with a huge fear of spiders. We'll be right back.
Visit WKRG.com. Voted best news website 2 years in a row by the Alabama Broadcasters Association. WKRG News 5. Coverage you can count on.
Hey, are they doing anything special for the flea market's anniversary this year?
Nah, just the same old birthday cake, and I just wish they'd liven it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
I do.
Come share the excitement at Flea Market Mobile, Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5.
Jane likes to mix things up. That's why she loves the new Light and Fit Greek non-fat yogurt mousse. So fluffy and airy. It's her new 80-calorie obsession. Light and Fit. Feel free to enjoy.
Furniture buyers, listen carefully. A rather shocking public announcement. This is Tupelo Furniture Gallery, and after years serving this community right here in Mobile, they have made the decision to close these doors and go out of business. This is public notice of the last and biggest sale Tupelo Furniture Gallery will ever conduct. This is their going out of business sale. Everything is on sale at an unbeatable going out of business price. Living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, genuine leather furniture, motion furniture. It's all here, but not for long. Hurry to Tupelo Furniture Gallery.
You wish your dog could fight off fleas and ticks. But since he can't, you rely on Frontline Plus. Because Frontline Plus unleashes a deadly killing force to kill fleas and ticks, plus flea eggs and larvae, preventing a new flea infestation. Its protection lasts a full 30 days. No wonder Frontline Plus is recommended by vets for killing fleas and ticks. After all, your dog is a lover, not a fighter. Frontline Plus, vet-recommended flea and tick killer.
Memorial Day, the traditional start of summer. It's almost here, Sarah.
That's right, Tom. Hot, sticky, kids out of school.
Fun in the sun, the beach.
And this.
Yep, but not to worry with washable rose slipcover furniture.
So come see some really neat styles and save an additional 10% off on all Row furniture.
Only at Barrows, the best place to buy furniture for nearly 60 years. Mobile, Pensacola, Dothan, and Delusia.
Behold the beauty of Cheddar Falls, only at Golden Corral. Everything is better with cheddar, like crispy fried raviolis, golden brown corn dogs, crispy potato wedges, and more. All part of the endless buffet, only at Golden Corral.
Smile. Feel gorgeous with this delicious beauty secret.
Keep it going. Yes.
VitaFusion Gorgeous Hair, Skin, and Nails.
Love it.
Delicious gummies with twice the biotin and 4 times the antioxidants.
Oh, beautiful.
For stunning hair, skin, and nails.
Gorgeous.
It's VitaFusion.
Save now at AutoNation. For locations, visit AutoNation.com.
Welcome back to News 5 at 9 a.m. around the web, around the world, and straight to our Twitter account because we have some news from the Hangout Fest.
Yeah, you were talking about how the Hangout looked dicey, and organizers have postponed the start. If we're taking a look at Twitter, they posted, "We are delaying the opening of the festival due to weather conditions. Stay tuned for updates on festival on social media as well as the app there." So if you're heading on down, it's not starting at 11 o'clock.
All right, let's go to West Virginia now. Weatherman talking with his news team Thursday morning about judging some sort of contest. When this happened,
Let's listen. Always the national champion. God, jeez Louise! Why did that just happen? I think I nearly lost my lunch.
Okay, Brian Hughes has an incredible fear of spiders, so I guess we'll give him a pass on that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brian. I'm with you. I get it. If I had a spider up here, I would be on the other side of the room.
Google looking to take on Amazon and Apple as it shows off its latest products at what they call the I/O Developer Conference. This is Google Home, a portable speaker that takes voice commands. You may have seen something similar to this in Amazon's Echo.
Yeah, Google calls the speaker a voice-activated remote for the home, and it should be available later this year.
All right, they also unveiled a new messaging app called the Allo, which allows users to outsource chats to a computer. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, the Allo studies a sent message or image and then gives the user advice on how to respond.
And why is that important? I don't get it. Also, Google has revealed its rival to Apple's popular personal assistant Siri, but unlike Siri, the Google version does not have a name, but it does power the home speaker.
Okay, all right, so here's something you don't want to be filling up, a 66,000-pound fuel tank. This is the external fuel tank to a space shuttle. It's in Marina del Rey. It arrived there earlier this week.
Yeah, it's on its way to the California Science Center, where it will join the Space Shuttle Endeavour on display.
Wow. This tank, by the way, ET-94, is 15 stories tall. Wow. It will stay in the water, kind of just resting there until it begins a trek through the streets of Los Angeles at midnight Friday. Can you imagine that?
No, and just to get it through the streets, they're going to use a custom transport vehicle, and astronauts will accompany it to its permanent home at the Science Center.
Well, very cool stuff. There you go.
Yeah, wouldn't want to have to fill that thing up.
No, no. All right. Possibility of showers and thunderstorms still out there for today and early this evening. It goes away early tomorrow. The skies begin to clear Saturday. By Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, lots of sunshine.
And of course, we'll have the latest on the Hangout Music Festival today on News 5 at noon.
We'll see you then.